In this video, I'm going to show you how to become a werewolf in the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. We're also going to cover the pros and cons of being a werewolf, how to level your werewolf skills and unlock new abilities, and how to cure yourself if you change your mind. So why bother becoming a werewolf in the first place? Well, there are a number of powerful and fun benefits that you can gain from lycanthropy. The vast majority of these benefits are tied to the beast form greater power that you receive on becoming a werewolf. Beast form allows you to transform into a werewolf for 150 seconds once per day. When in werewolf form, your health will increase by 50, your stamina will increase by 100, your stamina regeneration will be improved, your unarmed damage will increase, you'll become more damage resistant, your movement speed will be enhanced, and you'll even gain a bonus to your carrying capacity. On the negative side, your health regeneration will be reduced while in beast form. However, you will gain the ability to feed on victims in order to heal yourself, as well as extending your beast form by 30 seconds for each feed. On top of all of this, you'll gain 3 new Howl type abilities. Firstly, you'll get an area of effect fear spell that also causes nearby wolves to come and help you in combat, which is pretty cool. Secondly, you get the ability to summon 2 pack members to temporarily fight beside you. And finally, you get a detect life ability to help you stalk your prey. As a werewolf, you also gain 100% disease resistance, even when outside of beast form. Now that was a lot of information, so I'll pop a summary up on the screen so that you can pause and review it in your own time. If you have the Dawnguard DLC installed, which comes packaged with Skyrim Special Edition, so you probably do, then you'll also gain access to a whole new skill tree, with 11 new perks available for you to unlock. These perks offer a number of powerful upgrades to your werewolf form and abilities, such as increasing your damage as a werewolf up to 100%, further increasing your health and stamina, providing you with more health when feeding, and greatly enhancing your howls. Again, I'll pop the full perk information up on the screen now so that you can pause and review it in your own time. Unlike other perk trees, the werewolf tree doesn't actually have a skill attached to it. So you don't need to gain experience and level that skill in the normal way, you simply need to unlock the perks. To unlock these perks, you need to feed on victims while in werewolf form, with each perk requiring an increasing number of feeds to unlock. To feed on a victim, they firstly have to be dead, whether you killed them or not, and then you just need to approach them and press the feed option. It's also worth noting that you can't feed on undead NPCs, even werewolves have to draw the line somewhere, I guess. The downsides of being a werewolf aren't as severe as those of being a vampire, though one of them is that you can't be a werewolf and a vampire at the same time, so that's worth considering. I actually have a vampirism guide in the same playlist as this video if you're interested in that, I'll link it in the description. Aside from that, the only downside of being a werewolf when outside of beast form is that you'll lose the ability to gain resting bonuses from sleeping, which basically allow you to level skills faster. If you are in beast form, however, there is the obvious downside that most NPCs will attack you on sight, so watch out for that. You also don't actually get an option to exit beast form manually, you have to wait for it to wear off, which can be a mild annoyance if you need to do something that requires speaking to an NPC after a fight. You can of course just use the wait function to speed this up. It's a pretty minor inconvenience overall though, and overall your status as a werewolf doesn't really have any impact on your interactions with NPCs. At least whilst outside of beast form. Again, this is very different to vampires who are pretty much universally hated unless you have the Dawnguard DLC installed. So now that we've talked about the benefits and downsides of being a werewolf, how do you actually become one? Funnily enough, this is the really simple part. You just need to complete the second major quest in the Companions quest chain. It's called the Silver Hand. During this quest, you'll be invited to attend a secret meeting at the Underforge in Whiterun, which is very close to the Companions' headquarters. And there, Ayla the Huntress will carry out a ritual that grants you the beast form greater power. You'll then be put into beast form for the first time and basically let loose in Whiterun. Now be warned that all NPCs will be hostile to you at this point, and while you won't receive a bounty for killing people while in beast form, as they didn't see you transform, you always want to be careful which NPCs you kill in Skyrim. Most really important NPCs are unkillable, but there's still plenty of stuff you can miss out on by killing some of the less important ones. I'd actually recommend avoiding Whiterun or even just waiting where you wake up outside the Underforge until beast form wears off. Once it does wear off, you'll wake up in the middle of nowhere with what I can only assume is a werewolf hangover, and the Companions quest chain will continue from there. It's worth noting here that when you first become a werewolf, you'll only receive the first of the 3 Howl abilities, the ones we listed earlier in the video. This is Howl of Terror, and you'll need to unlock the other howls by completing quests for Ayla, and these will only become available once you've completed the full Companions questline. Following that, you'll be able to change your active howl at the Underforge by using the totems, and you can only have 1 howl active at any given time. Finally, let's talk about curing lycanthropy, in the event that you change your mind about wanting to be a werewolf. Well, you can actually cure yourself in a couple of ways. Firstly, during the Glory of the Dead quest, which is the final part of the Companions questline, you'll be able to cure yourself at Isgramor's tomb by using the Flame of the Harbinger. This quest involves you going to Glenmoral Cove and killing Glenmoral witches in order to loot their heads. You then need to take a head to Isgramor's tomb and toss it into the Flame of the Harbinger in order to cure Kodlak's lycanthropy. The main thing that you need to remember is to loot at least 2 of these Glenmoral witches' heads, and there are 5 available in Glenmoral Cove. After you've cured Kodlak, you can then use another Glenmoral witch's head to cure yourself. You simply need to throw it into the flame just as you did with Kodlak's, and then you need to defeat the spirit wolf that spawns, and at that point you'll be cleared of lycanthropy. This could be one of Skyrim's many bugs, I'm not sure, but if you leave it too long after curing Kodlak before you try to cure yourself, you actually won't be able to use the Flame of the Harbinger, presenting you with a bit of a problem. However, there is a solution. You basically need to go to either Farkas or Vilkas and ask them for work. They will then ask you to help them to cure their lycanthropy, in the same way you just did for Kodlak. And the first step of this will be for them to send you to get the Glenmoral witches' heads. Again, the important thing to remember is to loot 2 heads at least, so that you have 1 to cure the NPC as part of the quest and 1 to cure yourself. This option only becomes available once you've completed the Companion's questline, and it's exactly the same process of chucking the head into the Flame of the Harbinger and defeating the Spirit Wolf to cure your lycanthropy. Secondly, if you have the Dawnguard DLC, then you can also cure your lycanthropy by allowing either Harkon or Serana to turn you into a vampire lord. Again, I have a full vampirism guide if you want more information on how to do that, and I'll link it in the description. If you then change your mind again and want to turn back into a werewolf after having been cured, then you can visit Ayla after having completed the Companion's quest chain, and she will allow you to do so. However, she will only allow you to do it once. And it's important to note that this option also requires you to have the Dawnguard DLC installed. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video has been useful in helping you to understand how being a werewolf works in Skyrim. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate you giving it a like, as that really helps the channel to grow. I have plenty more Elder Scrolls guides on my channel, as well as other games, so if that sounds interesting to you, then maybe consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.